Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Paul Sainz with Insane Sports Podcast, and I got a special guest with us today, pro boxer Marshaun the Hunter. Her, how you doing?
Yes, yes, sir, man. I'm doing great, man. It's an honor to be on here, man. I appreciate you for having me, man.
No doubt. I
I
appreciate you
appreciate
for
it.
coming on, man.
Absolutely, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, so we gonna jump straight into it, man. I got a few questions for you. I just want to go with the basics. I know that, most of the times when we talking to athletes, that's what everybody gets. Just
Yeah,
the side of being an athlete, but we want to dive in a little bit more, get to know a little bit about you and how you were introduced into the game of boxing. So, tell us a little
absolutely.
bit about yourself.
Um, First off, you already know my name, Marshaun, the Hunter Herd. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I was introduced to boxing. I was kind of like born into it, but I grew up a little rougher than a lot of other people. So my mom couldn't afford it at the time. So, but when I got to the age where I could veer off on my own and do it, I got into it. But it was really like a born into it thing because my family, it's in the family. I got cousins and on my father's side I got uncles and things like that who did boxing. So I was really born into it. For real,
Got you.
for real.
Got you.
Yeah.
So around what age did you find yourself being, saying that I'm really good at this, I can go far in it?
Like about like 7 or 8 years old.
Hmm.
Like my first year in it, I was winning tournaments.
Yeah.
It was pretty easy for me. And I did other sports too. Like I did football, basketball and things like that. But it was like boxing just was like, yeah, this is it right here. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, with the other sports, how good were you in the other sports? I know a lot of people say, yeah, I play other sports, but how
Yeah,
would you
no,
rank how would you
I'm
rate your
I'm
other?
very
Yeah.
I'm very athletic. I can say like anything I do, I'm as good as I am as same thing as boxing. Like that's with football and basketball. But it was more so like when I was young, I had got injured, to the point where I almost lost my kidney. So it was more so like a traumatizing fear thing. Like with football, I ain't wanna go back through like the surgeries I went through when I got injured. So it was like, nah, I ain't gonna lie, I can't do this. And I was young. But then when I boxed, it was just like I might be able to get injured, but I'm cool with this because then I'm fighting. So it's like it could definitely elevate me when it comes to fighting. So I
Right.
definitely, I'm definitely good at anything I do though, whether that's basketball, football, whatever, anything for real.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. We from Cleveland, so we put on a little bit different.
For
And
sure, fact.
I'm out here in Arizona, so I brag about Cleveland all the time and the athletes that come out of there. But
A lot of
could you
talent.
say that again?
No, I said we definitely got a lot of talent coming out the city. Like most kids, my age, or not even just my age, most kids, from the city definitely could do a lot of things, like multiple things.
Is there anybody out there as far as athletes from the city that you want to speak on, that you feel like don't get enough recognition, or you know
Um,
on their
I would
way
say
up?
my brother Stanley Turpin Jr., my brother Caleb Moss. I mean, I got another brother, Andre Dawson Jr. He a fighter as well. But as far as another sport, like, cause my brother Andre Dawson, he's pretty known in the boxing game. But as far as like football, I would definitely say my two brothers, Caleb Moss and Stanley Turpin Jr. for sure. They work extremely hard, day in and day out. But like I say, everybody's situation is different. So but they, it's going as long as we keep putting in the work, the light gonna shine on them as well. So.
Right.
For sure, but that's them the two for sure. I say.
So would you say, was it boxing, or was it everything boxing or nothing? Like, did you put everything on the line? Do you have a backup plan, or how do you feel about, you know, uh,
Uh, to be honest, like I say, I'm very like very versatile. Like how to do everything. So it's like I be trying to get into a lot of stuff because I'm just an entrepreneur and just a young king at heart. So I just like to do everything. But for the most part, boxing is everything to me. Boxing is first over anything. But boxing is gonna eventually that's gonna be the way for more things and bigger things in the future. Once I'm done with it. But boxing is everything for sure, for sure.
can you speak to some of those other things that you want boxing to lead up to?
I have a brand. I'm into fashion, so I got a brand. My brand is Merlata. Majestic elegance, rehearsing lavishness, and dominant appearance. I like cooking. Like I want to be a chef as well. Things like real estate, stock, and just different investments that could make me successful for longevity. After boxing for long term for real.
Good.
But
So
boxing is just a start.
so the one thing I like hearing from you, honestly, it just sounds like, it's, a lot of people would just say, okay, when they hear from athletes, that's all that they talk about is eat, breathe, sleep that. But it sounds like you have a life outside of that and that you want to shed light on too. But you using your platform, which what you're good at, to get to that
Absolutely.
next level. Can you speak
Yes,
on
sir.
some of the benefits of boxing and how it affects you mentally, physically, and spiritually?
Honestly, boxing is like an all around thing for me, like, and that's why I love it so much because it helps me with life a lot because life is hard, like whether that's me being with my brand, my business, chef and everything. It's gonna be times where I don't want to do it, and with boxing, it definitely like all the time be like, man, I ain't gonna lie, it makes me really think like, is this really something I want to do, or is this really something I'm built for at sometimes? So it's really like in life, like that's how it be sometimes. You'll get to a moment where you like it's hard. So should I keep going or should I stop? So it helps with a lot. It helps with my discipline majority of the time because it's like with boxing you have to be very disciplined, man. You got to make sacrifices to get to bigger things and accomplish things that you never knew or you can't comprehend at the time. So that's the same thing with life. So I would say it helps with more so like discipline, commitment, and real life like consistency because everything takes time. So with boxing, boxing you have to be very patient, like very patient. And that's anything, I feel like in life because nobody starts off just actually good at something. Everybody talented to the point where you can learn and you can do it maybe the first, second time. But it definitely takes time to master something for sure, for sure. So, it helps with life in general as far as discipline, consistency, and just dedication for real. And staying at something for sure.
Got you. So is it something in boxing that you want to bring change to, or that you want to bring like enlighten the game about, or enlighten fans about?
Boxing. I feel like in boxing, I feel like people think it's like more of a game than what it is. Like or like people don't understand it. The people that ain't fighters, they don't understand like what we go through. The sacrifices we gotta make. The temptations and things we do go through, like regular people, and the fact that we definitely go in the ring, and sacrifice our lives, to not only put on the show, but to prove to ourselves. Because with me, every time I step on it, it's like I don't really care about the crowd or I mean I care about the fans, but and the people who support genuinely. But for the most part, it's really like testing myself to like know like did I really prepare like I was supposed to? Did I really make sure I was doing what I was doing? And then also it tests myself like are you built for this stage or this atmosphere or certain things people turn around from because everybody can't do this. Everybody can't eventually walk out in front of 20,000 people, 30,000 people and be able to perform like they want to or not be nervous or not be like fearful of it. So it really helped me really like prove to myself like you built for everything that's designed for you for it to be that way for sure.
Now, I heard you mention, the sacrifices, but like you
Yeah,
said, a lot of people don't know what goes into the game. You know what I mean? Like they don't understand the sacrifice of an athlete. They feel like it's just a game. Like you don't get fatigued. You're not going through real life situations.
that's
But like
fact.
speak to that. Speak towards the sacrifices that you have to make on a daily to be as great as you are.
Yeah, like I mean, down to the more basic stuff. Like as a fighter, you can't really do things that other sports do. Like it's football. Like say if I was playing football, I could eat what I want as I please. I may be able to go, kick it, before a game because I could say timeout or I could pass the ball or I could do this. But sacrifices is, just like the small things that people overlook. Like that one time where you think like, oh, I'm okay. Whereas as far as in boxing, man, you can't make up for that. The only way you make up for that is if you either lose or, it's gonna show you. Whereas like football, you one day you may be like, oh no, I don't got to work out today, or I could cheat today, or I could halfway do it. It ain't really gonna. I mean, if it show you got time to be like, all right, look, I'm gonna pass the ball, or like I say, call time out and sub me out real quick and got time to think about it on the bench. But when you in that ring, it's like you ain't got no, it ain't no timeouts. Like that timeout, you're gonna be asleep.
Yeah,
It's gonna be it. So it's like it's really like in the gym, or not even just in the gym. It's outside of the gym, man. You gotta really remember, like it's gonna show. It's gonna show you, man. It's really gonna show you. Like you gotta really know, like man. it ain't about what I want to do. It's about what I need to do. That's why I say, well, boxing is more so like life. Everybody want to do what they want to do, but it's like what you need to do so you can do what you want to do. So like the minor things that people think is okay for the moment when it's really not okay. Because boxing gonna show you like that small second is gonna add up to them small seconds when you in the ring or whether you in your training or sparring anything. And you gotta push through that.
So how is training for you? Like what does training typically look like for you getting ready for your match?
Um, to be honest, it's really like a lifestyle. So it's really more so like it's like normal to me now because I'm so used to it. But we wake up early. I wake up early, I run, or I hit the gym. Because I go to the gym, I go to this gym called Extreme Compound, open at 5 a.m. So that's a good thing about it. I could be up early, hit the gym, get a workout session in. Then I got a job. I work at a Hibbett Sports, at a shoe store. So I make sure I get a workout in before I go into work. After work, I'm right back in the gym. So as a fighter, I really make sure all my time is towards the gym because you sleep 8 hours, you gotta go to work and things like that. So it's like all the other time I try not to waste it and make it count, because it does count.
Got you. So I got a few people commenting and they're speaking towards what you do for the community, saying that you help outside the ring and help in the community. Can you
Yeah,
speak on that?
yeah. My father actually, we got this nonprofit organization called Civilians Against Violence. Everything I do on the daily, whether that's my training, the sacrifices, and becoming the young king that I am, it's for the youth eventually. Once I become successful, I always want to shine light on kids that came up like me, who was, less fortunate, and had to get it out the mud, as we say. So yeah, we got like I said, we got a nonprofit organization. We help out. We'll go, to homeless shelters. We'll give away food. Just give people hope. And then also we just shed light and just understand. Well, and then we also did this march with I forget their name. My apologies for forgetting y'all name. Y'all gonna see this, but this is other nonprofit organization where we helping the communities as far as the violence, man. We did this march where we was on 105 in St. Clair. We shut the street down and we marched, for the black women who were getting killed, and kidnapped and things like that. So we just really try to, shine light on the other stuff that people overlook and think it's just not a big deal when it really is. Especially when it's happening to, the people that look like me and the people my age who are young. And then we got to see this every day. Like I say, everybody ain't got it. So we got bus. We get on the bus and we got to see things like this, see violence, and got to worry about safety. Our mothers and our fathers, they got to worry about their children being safe and things like that. So we just shed light on things like that and just help out as much as we can to give children hope for real, for real.
So this is our first time meeting, and I just want to stop before I go into like any more questions and really say that it's you should be commended on how you approach your daily life and what you're giving towards the community, because being from the city, we know it's a lot of people that walk on top of each other trying to get to where they trying to go, and it's like a
Absolutely.
dog eat type dog, type of atmosphere. But
That's
you taking
facts.
it upon yourself to say, I keep hearing you calling yourself a king, understanding what you are and speaking that,
Absolutely.
and where a lot of people would be discouraged to even say who they are. You know what
Yes,
I
sir.
mean? So I just want to, clap it up for you internally as
I
saying,
appreciate that, man. I
I
appreciate it.
appreciate you and what you do for the community and hearing you,
Yeah, no,
so,
absolutely. Yeah.
but to speak towards that as well, like how how do you get this way? How do you get to the point of being who you are? And I mean it like not just surface level, like a little bit more
Yeah.
deeper.
I wasn't always like this. Like growing up, I'm from down the way, 30th project. So I grew up at first. I was a and I grew up with my sister. So I had to really I just had to learn, learn from what was wrong, learn from people around me. A couple male figures, came in my life and showed me a lot of things, showed me a lot of different lives. Especially, my pops, my boxing coach, he like a father to me, and he's doing a great job. He teach me a lot about being a young gentleman, a king, a man. So it's really about, it's really the male figures that came into my life. Also, you can hear me, bro.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right,
I
all right,
see
yeah,
it glitching, but I hear you.
yeah. It was long for a second, but no, like I was saying, it's really, the people I came across, going out here, learning and venturing. It's more so boxing. And then as I got older, all praises to the Father. He just sparked that in me to wake me up and understand, like, it's bigger than just being out here and thinking you tough, being prideful, taking responsibility, becoming a man, and actually knowing it's bigger things out here in life, and you got to learn who you are and different things like that. But like I said, I wasn't always like this, so it just really came over time. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, so it's definitely a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge that I got to continue to learn. But for the most part, it just really like experience, bro. For real, it was experience, and then understanding as I got older, some stuff I used to do it just wasn't okay. A lot of stuff I used to do, a lot of stuff that I used to say, the way I used to carry myself, it just really was just like I gotta just be better and all around. I can't just be a great boxer and then don't know how to be articulate, and then not carry myself like the king that I am. So it was just really more so experience, man, and just learning. Like it's bigger than me for real, and it's a bigger me than I could ever comprehend right now, for real, for real.
That's what's up, man. I hope people that's listening really take heed of what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like, I was just talking to a friend that's crazy because he's from Longwood.
Yeah,
And I was talking to him earlier, and he was speaking on like people don't really care about your story until you make it.
no,
And
absolutely.
it's just like, you got individuals out here that's really striving to be better than what they present on a daily. And so I just hope that people really listening to you, man. And I appreciate you again for
I
saying that.
appreciate you, OG. I appreciate you for even giving me this opportunity to speak my story. I always couldn't wait to do this stuff, like this type of stuff, to get on here and talk, and articulate, and then show everybody who. Because a lot of people now look at me, don't even think I talk how I talk, and the knowledge I got, and the wisdom I got at such young age. So it's a pleasure to definitely get on here and talk, and then speak my mind a little bit. I,
Absolutely. And hopefully we'll do more after, we go out here and knock some heads off. But, you
absolutely.
know, can you speak towards some of the boxers out there now? Is there any that you admire or, admire their game or, the way that they carry themselves as a pro?
As a pro, I'm first I wanna shine, like like on my brother, man. My brother, I admire his his skill, his IQ in the ring, and the things he just do, the way he just know the game. Like I say, man, we helpers one to another. So if it wasn't for my brother, I definitely wouldn't be as good as I am in the game, and also my coaches. But
They trying to block my man's out. I don't know what's going on. Bring him back. There you go.
you hear me?
There you go.
Yeah, somebody called me. I don't know why he just called me. He know I'm on the podcast. That was my
Come
brother
on.
speaking to my brother. But yeah,
Yeah.
well, as far as amateur or no, well, we both professional now though. But as far
Mhm.
as like a pro coming up, for sure, my brother, my brother Andre Dawson Jr. I definitely admire, the way like I say his talent, man, his IQ in the game. He taught me a lot, man. Definitely opened my eyes when it comes to like how I box now, and the IQ I got now. But other than that, I like Terrence Crawford, man. That's my favorite. That's probably my favorite boxer right now because his dedication and then how real he is as a person. You don't really see him with too much jury on and things like that. He more so like down to earth. Of course I like Javante Davis, but like I say on a different level with it. Like I don't really, and then like I don't. This might be a bad thing, but I don't really study too many of like a lot of boxers outside of the ring because I really just be watching the game. But from somebody I could take that I just know like just seem like they're an authentic person and just down to earth. Definitely Terrence Crawford. That's probably a person I would say.
And honestly, I was expecting you to say, I don't really tailor myself after or this or that. And I don't think that's something to take as a bad thing because you in this game trying to make a name for yourself, and as
Absolutely.
well as shoot some of these guys we got to fight as well, right? So it's
Yeah.
like just respect. Of course, you want the respect to be there, but I expect you to want to go in there and say, "Hey, I'm here to make a name for myself as well." You know what I mean?
For
In,
sure.
in which I think that you're doing and you're doing a good job at. But can you speak towards your next match, man? What do you want the fans to know
Um,
about the way
it
you
just
that what you got coming out of?
Yeah, unfortunately, I apologize to all the supporters, the people who first that's exactly what I want to do. apologize to everybody, who, purchased tickets for my up and coming debut that was supposed to be Saturday. They ended up postponing it, because of injury of the main event. So once they come out with that news, or whenever they gonna come out with a new date within, like, I think 24 hours, because they said 48 hours like a day ago. So like 24 hours, they'll definitely let me know the next date, and that'll be my debut. So it's gonna be more information on that. But just like it was gonna be Saturday, I worked extremely hard. That's where it started at in the gym. I don't really talk too much about what I'm gonna do and things like that. I'm really more so a humble kid, and I just really let my work show for itself. But a lot of people know what I do. They know I'm sharp. They know I work hard. That's really the most. That's really the only thing that I would really brag about, is as much as I work hard, because everything else will tell itself. Because like I say, I don't really like talking too much about it. But it's every time I step out and I fight. I'm definitely looking to put on the show, and definitely show everybody what I'm made of. And really, that's really it. Like I say, I don't really like talking too much about what I'm gonna do. It's just really, like I say, I just let my hard work show for itself. But they definitely expect to show what's the name? Every time I perform, or every time I'm put on any platform, they definitely should expect the show. Cause like I said, I work extremely hard, so it'll show for itself though, for sure.
So to have this is something that we come back to, is you said, hey, I spoke this before and it came into life later on. To speak that now, how do you want your boxing career to go? How would you want, when this all said and done, what would you want people to
Honestly,
say about you?
honestly, and I say this a lot though. It's always bigger than boxing for me. So you got people who are good boxers, and then outside of the ring, like you say, they really wasn't too much like remember. So I really want to be remembered just not only as a fighter, but as just a good dude who is genuine. Always stood out, and just an outstanding, genuine person who just cared a lot about people. Because that's just who I am. Most of the times I do what I do so I can help a lot of people. Because once boxing is all said and done, I don't want to just be a person who just reach that success with the money and things like that. Who just nobody just it's just like he just So it's really bigger than boxing. I just want to be remembered as somebody who that people know, like, yeah, that's a genuine guy. Like, because people gonna say what they want to say about me. People gonna feel how they want to feel, who I didn't fight, or whatever the case may be, which they don't know about. But for the most part, I just want people to know, or they will know, that he was just a genuine guy all around the board. And
They trying to take us out. They trying to take us out, man. You see what type of guy we dealing with right here. Here we go. Stand up guy. As y'all was hearing about, what he tends to do. I think we might have lost Marshaun, man. But as you all were seeing, Marshaun is a very humble person, somebody that we all could see. Oh, here we go. Bring him back.
yeah,
There
my
you go.
bad. Hey, people keep calling me. That's not my bad. That's not
Hey,
my fault.
man, it's
Keep
jumping for
calling
you.
me.
I can't get
I should,
mad at it.
yeah, man, my bad. But like I was saying though, yeah, just really just a genuine person, man. Like I say, man, the king, the young king I am, it's so much more to come, and I understand that. And I'm gonna just let the most high the Father, guide my whole career as far as longevity, health, and things like that. So I can't even really speak on how I want it to go. Everybody got wants, but I understand that it's in His control, and He controls everything. All I could do is wake up every day and give Him His grace, His glory, and do my part as far as working hard and working towards that. But other than that, it's definitely bigger than boxing. So like I say, I just want to be remembered as a genuine dude, a dude who just was so real, real. Well, my real, because everybody got their own definition of that as well. So,
Facts.
I just really, just genuine, man. Because can't nobody really, not say what's really genuine. So it's really a genuine guy on and off the on and in the ring, for real, for real. Just a real person.
But just like you spoke on being genuine, I try to lead in my life like that. I have a business where I teach kids now in training. And I try to lead by example, but I don't charge people on Saturdays, and people ask me what's the reason for that, and I'm saying it's the Sabbath and stuff like that. So
Savage.
the things that I'm speaking on, I'm hearing what you're saying. You know what I mean? And it's a bigger picture in what you're doing, but also again that goes back to using your gifts and your platform. You get what I'm
Absolutely.
saying, and giving out to everybody. But before we continue, I want to stop and give a shout out to some of our supporting sponsors and
Yeah, for sure.
Team
We definitely
MTH.
want to shout out. Now you go ahead, my bad.
Yep. Team MTH, Athletic Start, and also Cleveland Sports Media Group. If you want to give
Absolutely.
a shout out to somebody I may have missed, go ahead.
Yeah, no, we could definitely, I'm gonna just shout them out again, man. Shout out to, Athletic Star, Cleveland Sports, Media Group. We could shout them out twice. Two is better than one always. So
Yeah.
we definitely just shout out them, shout out Trap Wars, I had to wear the hat, This Trap Wars, take risks and prosper. We take risks every day, whether that's, streets, whatever it is, we taking risks to prosper in some way. So, shout out to them, they help out a lot, man. They make a lot of things possible, like which is this one thing as well. And I just appreciate them a lot, and I hope they know that I'm very appreciative of what they do for me, for sure. Especially coming from where I come from, and it definitely means a lot for me.
So I want to leave you with this last question, man. Coming from where you come from and get into where you are now, what you're trying to achieve. That kid that's sitting back watching this interview, that may see this interview, that's a younger you that's trying to go out here and to be a better person each and every day. What words do you want to leave them with?
That's a great question though. That's a great question. I was waiting on this too. I would tell them what I tell myself every day. Everything is patience. And things take time. So as long as you just stay focused and you understand self mastery, man. Self mastery is everything. You got to know exactly what's your problem, what's stopping you from getting where you want to get, and stopping you from becoming that person that that you're destined to be. Because it's a lot, and it's definitely going to get hard. But the main thing I would definitely say to any youngin, and I tell all the youngins nowadays, just stay focused and always remember, like I tell myself, this you is dependent on the older you, and so on and so forth. Like the 25-year-old me is dependent on me now. At the age I am, I'll be 20 this year in June. He's dependent on me to make every decision, and every decision count. Whether that's something that you feel as though it is okay to blow over tomorrow, but like like my pops always tell me, it's no tomorrow. You got to make every day count. Be patient, stay disciplined. Sacrifice and understand. Pain comes before pleasure, and pleasure comes before pain. So it's whatever which one you want to end off when it comes to longevity. So really just being patient and understanding yourself and self mastery for real. Because everybody got their own like Nick. Everybody got their own flaws. Everybody got their own prosperity. So it's really understanding yourself and understanding what you need to do to understand yourself to get to the point where you want to become that reigning person within yourself though. Because like I say, everybody gonna always have something to say about you. They gonna always have their opinion. But as long as you comfortable within yourself and you understand like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, not what everybody else think I'm supposed to do. So, just being patient, discipline, sacrifice. The biggest thing is discipline though. That's the biggest thing. Because as a man, you gotta take responsibility. You gotta do what you need to do so you do what you can. So that's the biggest thing, discipline. That's in anything, life, whether they doing sports, entrepreneurship, anything. Just discipline. That's the biggest thing. And that all plays, and everything I said before that all plays into that discipline. For real, for real.
Got you. Listen, man, it was a pleasure bringing you on. I appreciate your time, man. I
It was a
really
pleasure.
hope
It was
that
a pleasure. I appreciate you, OG. I definitely do, man.
for
The
sure,
honor,
man.
appreciate it.
I hope that people was able to really hear about your story, hear the type of person you are outside of boxing. Hey, man, you got a fan in me. You get
I
what I'm
appreciate
saying? So,
it.
I'm rooting for you and everything that you got moving forward, brother. So, again, appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man. Salute. It's definitely an honor for being over here. I want to thank everybody who tuned in. It's the 100. Y'all know me. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate the love. This definitely means a lot. Like I say, growing up, I never had this. I was always the kid that tried to, prove itself or, you know, and it just came by natural because I was always, you know, that star, and everybody a star, and I want everybody around the world to know that you're your own star, man. As long as, like I say, self mastery, you got to know within yourself that you're a star, because everybody else will say you're a star, and then a lot of people one day say you dirt. So just keep pushing, you know, just keep striving, whatever it is. And I appreciate you again. It's an honor, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. I'll catch y'all next time, man. The Hunter, we gone, y'all.
We gone. Peace.
Peace.